Why hello and welcome back to another LOTRO update. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today, my friends, we're going to talk about LOTRO Legendarium 9 Lord of the Rings online items with fun and helpful abilities. I really found this article very cool, so I'm going to read through it with you guys right now and tell you about these, and I'll do a little bit of my own explanation if you're confused on some stuff here to make it a little easier as well. And I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth, and let's have a blast. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I would like to thank you guys. You guys are the best, by the way. I have a very high level of subscribers for viewers, so you guys are awesome. Thanks for support. All right, here we go. One of my favorites things in the MMORPG are an item that grants you a special ability. There's a lot of these. There's some that give you hope. There's some that give you fate buffs. It's pretty cool. That's a fun effect to the user boost. It seems to me that these sort of items are more commonplace in tabletop games than online ones, as I'm sure the devs are worried about players building up too large of a stash of reusable magical items. So let's find all 9 of them, right? Shall we? That does make sense that they'd be worried about that, though. While these are somewhat rare in Lord of the Rings Online, there are a few items that can be activated repeatedly for some sort of special ability or effect. I've noticed a couple of them over the years. I like this guy's article, how he writes. Again, I'll link this article in the description for you if you want to go through it yourself. So I thought I'd share some of the more useful or entertaining ones that you can acquire. So we have the Portents. Since we're in the Middle-earth of the Ilomans event, as this is a very cool item, by the way. It's in the skirmish camp. I just talked about this during a live stream the other day with my friends here on the channel. As I'm writing this, Portents are very much on my mind. These are powerful items that can be earned through this event. They can be used every 10 minutes for a strong effect, more DPS, a heal, or more defense. The Portents are bound to characters and have a minimum and maximum level that they can be used, but they're still quite nice to have around during the during that window. They are really nice, guys, by the way. So, and if you don't know what they are, you can literally just go to the skirmish camp and go and find it over there at the delving whatever guy the trader. You can go look at him yourself, all right? They're really nice. All right, next one, racial books, all right? Volume 3, Book 4 of the epic storyline features 4 racial quests, one for each of the main races, depending on what race you're playing in the game, right? That may pay out in a special book item that can be activated for a nice little buff. Hobbits get hope and might buff. Men get a will and incoming healing buff. Again, will is a stat in the game. Might is a stat in the game, right? Incoming healing is if people heal you, you heal yourself, you get more healing. Buff. Dwarves get fate, morale, and power regen. Again, power is your mana in Lord of the Rings Online. Morale is your health in Lord of the Rings Online, just so you guys know if you're a newer player. And elves get fate, power, and morale regen. Even though there are diminishing returns with these, I still keep them. I keep mine too. So that you can use every day. It's pretty fun. Jeweled Bell. Want to annoy the living snot out of everyone around you. I love this, how you're the living snot. Very fun. I'd never say that saying, but it is funny. Then fight Throng during, Thrang during the Farmer's Fair instance to get the Jeweled Bell reforged. The item text says, use Jeweled Bell to go jingle jangle. Now you're bugging Mordor on your own terms. Anyway, it's a fun little sound effect item, all right? Trade Secrets. Volume 1, Book 10, so this is part of the main epic chapter, Chapter 9, all right? Of the epic has a nice little reward that I feel goes overlooked. Players can select an item called Trade Secret, which is a pocket item that bumps your stealth level up by 2. While this isn't an activatable ability, which means you can't click it and activate it, you still want to include it because it's quite handy. Obviously, burglars benefit from this. Yes, if you're a burglar, you want to get this item. That's huge for you. Plus 2 stealth is really, really good. But so do all hobbits using their stealth ability. Swap in, and suddenly those little spite-size stealthing all over the place. Hobbits have a natural stealth ability. By the way, elves also have, I believe, a natural stealth ability when they're holding still. They can click a stealth ability. It's a racial thing too. I believe don't elves have that too? Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just hobbits. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I was thinking elves do too, but maybe I'm just going loopy there. All right, anyway, moving on. Reputation maps. Okay, all right. If you're a type of player like me who keeps forgetting to spend tokens for certain areas at reputation vendors, you might want to get the habit of looking these up, especially in the back half of the game. Many of these vendors sell travel skills that can help you zip around the world and get free portal. And I would like to add to that, if you haven't watched my guide video on it, if you buy in the LOTRO store with your earned LOTRO points every month if you're a VIP or if you earn them from deeds, a very handy one is the can't say the word right now. Expedient Traveler. There it is. There's the word. Just took my brain a second. Excuse me. Thank you, Zollin. And then also, there's another one too. They're under the map skills. And one reduces your cooldowns of your maps by 25 minutes and one reduces them by 30 minutes. Yes, they stack and it works on all of these maps. The travel skill ones you get, the ones for your houses, and the ones for your milestones, okay? So it's really big, right? And your racial one too, I believe it works on. So it's really, really good. I'm trying to think, does it work on the house one? I think it works on the house ones. You know what's weird? I don't think it works on the VIP houses. It only works on the regular normal house skills for like the normal areas that are free for everyone. For some reason, the VIP, I don't think it works on, from what I remember. Off the top of my head with that one. I have to open the thing again. Some of these little things, right? You just forget little things. But again, it's a free port. Is a free port, and it's really nice. So if you have the extra respect in an area, go to the vendor, get those extra travel skills. It really helps you move around the world later when you're doing deeds or all that kind of stuff. It's very handy, okay? Matty's cloths, all right? It's an incredibly easy to overlook odd piece of gear that actually has an on-use effect, such as the case with Matty's clothes, excuse me. I think it's in a level 48 forage shell quest called Under Attack. Players can pick one of 3 pieces of gear that can be toggled to increase will or agility for 10 minutes with a 30-minute cooldown. Oh yes, and the cool thing about it is I believe you could just put the piece of gear on, use it, and take the piece of gear off again. So you can just have the buff, right? That's the cool thing about that, right? Oh, good. They are going to talk about these other ones. Good. Repair anvils. While VIP players get a nifty item to access all sorts of services, which you do, by the way, from anywhere in the game, other players have to contend with regular trips to town to repair gear. That is, unless you buy or make a repair anvil, which this used to be a big thing back in the day, because VIPs didn't used to get those special repair things, right? It used to be you had to bring a repair anvil. I remember my kin leader having one, and he'd throw it down after a raid, and we'd all repair so we could continue the raid, and we got wiped, and all our gear was wounded, right? Because back then, VIPs also took damage on their gear still. It wasn't, you didn't have invulnerable durability or whatever like you do now. So, side notes. Well, you don't have invulnerable durability. It's just you take less or something. Which offers a use anywhere item that can be taken out once a day. Anyway, again, it's cool, even though it is a long cooldown, but it's cool if you have a couple people with it for raids or whatever. Especially if you have a lot of free-to-play people with you, you can help them out, right? That kind of thing is cool. Ronald's Doyle's Pipe. I just destroyed his name. In a small hobbit camp in Evendim, I have this pipe. You can bump into Ronald Doyle. I think it's Dwal. It's not Dwale. It's not Dwalin. Yeah, Dwallo, whatever. The thinly veiled counterpart to real world J.R.R. Tolkien, Ronald, being one of those R's. Again, yeah, it's kind of a fun little hint in Tolkien. If you complete a short 3-part series, alludes to the real world Inklings group that the Tolkien belonged to. This is kind of cool because it's like the real story of the Inklings, which are the, you know, C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, a bunch of them. They used to go to the pub together, right? They were their writing group. Hence why our interview playlist is called the Inklings. That's a hint at that too. And that's because anyone who comes on, I'm always going to talk about Lord of the Rings stuff with them. So we're talking about their love of Lord of the Rings or Tolkien's content. So since we're talking about it and having fun stories and learning things, I thought the Inklings was appropriate for that playlist, which, by the way, we will have some new videos coming out on that shortly. That playlist has just been released at the time of making this video. I am partially of this item for the fact that you don't have to use up any pipeweed when you put it out. Again, that is kind of cool, right? It's a reusable gift, so it lets you do special little effect, right? And you don't have to actually use pipeweed to use it, right? So you can always use the in-game emote /smoke right? Again, I do not encourage smoking, guys. It's bad for you. I don't smoke. I never have. But if it's in a game, it's fine. You could always use that, but there's also ones that use pipeweed. They have special effects. This one has a special effect. You don't have to use the pipeweed. But I think it's kind of cool that you can craft your own pipeweed, like grow it and stuff, right? Too. I think that's neat that craft system is a thing. By the way, this video will be relevant pretty much forever. So these items will always be in LOTRO. These are all items in the past that have been around for a long time. So this should always be a relevant video in this update, in our LOTRO update. Elrond's Gift. While Volume 1 is increasingly long and mender, there are a few nice rewards you can get out of it. These rewards include Elrond's Gift, a necklace that gives you a 2,880 morale heal once an hour and use on an emergency potion. Obviously, this item has a limited lifespan, but it may come in usefulness during your leveling journey. Very cool, very cool. Yes, I actually do remember something about this, but yeah, it's kind of useless when you have like a million HP later, because it's like such a small heal. But you never know, might be just enough to save you. But for a lower level, that would be very handy. So anyway, again, I will link this in the description for you guys. You have a wonderful day in Middle Earth. Those are some fun items. Another item that they don't mention, if you have the little Ithilien coin or Dane coin, I forget the name of the coin, the green one, and it goes to a quest to go to talk to one of the main city's people, whether it be the mayor of Bree or Dwalin or one of the other, Michael Delving, and then the one elf over in Hellendim or whatever. It gives you the pipe, or excuse me, the horn that allows you to get hope, that one hope, extra hope for like 30 minutes, and when it's over, its cooldown's the same, so you can turn it back on. That thing's awesome. That's another item that I'm gonna add to this list. There's 10. Okay, it's a really, really cool item too. Yeah, pretty cool. If you want to know more details on that, again, I can make another video, maybe a guide video about where to get those and stuff. But you kind of have to have one of the expansions and get the coins, I think. Yes, it's been a long time since, it's been like 10 years since I got those coins. Anyway, have a great day in Middle Earth. Thanks again. Thanks, Skumley, for being Royal Guard. Subscribe button's there if I earned it, guys. Next episode for updates is up there, and over there, Zollin picked out a nice little playlist, LOTRO Tale, where I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. See you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Baruch Kazad, Kuzare Benyu.